George Foreman is defending 4 titles in the WBA and WBC in a duel against former world champion, the 32-year-old Muhammad Ali. In 1968, Foreman went to the Olympic Games in Mexico with an amateur record of 16 wins, 4 defeats, and left the tournament with a gold medal. In his 3.5 years as a professional, George achieved the status of a mandatory challenger. When his record stood at 37-0, with 34 knockouts, he went into the ring against Joe Frazier, who 2 years earlier had given Muhammad Ali his first defeat. Foreman literally destroyed Frazier in less than 6 minutes. As for the challenger, Muhammad Ali did not waste time after losing to Frazier to start his way back to the top. He won 10 victories in 2 years, but then unexpectedly lost to Ken Norton in March of 1973. He went on to take revenge on Norton and then Frazier, who by that time had already lost his title in the fight with Foreman. Ali acquired the status of contender. The promoter of the fight was Don King, who promised the boxers $5 million each, but King's promise was empty because he didn't have that kind of money. Searching for options around the world brought King to the African continent, the city of Kinshasa, the capital of Zaire, a state that today bears the name of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The fight was scheduled for September 24th, but due to an injury Foreman received during training, the event was postponed to October 30th. And held at 4 a.m. African local time to meet the interests of the American audiences. At the time of the fight with Ali, Foreman had a series of 24 knockouts in a row. In the first round, Ali started as expected against such a worthy opponent, who could easily have made him his 25th knockout. Ali moved a lot and would strike suddenly. Being in danger in the second round, to the surprise of his trainer, Angelo Dundee, Ali stopped dancing around Foreman and planted his feet firmly, spending a lot of time on the ropes. While not in the most favorable position, Ali only occasionally responded to blows, but when he did, he was very accurate.
The left eye, not the right eye. Oh, what a combination of that flicking in the face of George Foreman. George Foreman backing Ali.
In the third round, Ali, trying to move away from the ropes, found himself back against them on the other side of the ring. Big George almost very rarely attacked Ali's head. Instead, he inflicted quite a few heavy blows on the torso. Ali threw fewer blows, but when he did, they were very accurate. In this way, he attempted to pick up points by 2 good attacks at the end of the round. After the third round, it was noted that Foreman was moving too fast and tried to end the fight quickly, which could have a negative effect. Conversely, Angelo Dundee was shouting at Ali to not stand at the ropes. Ali ignored his coach, replying, "I know what I'm doing."
Ali is definitely confused and moving on. Left hand misses the door to the shoulder line. There's the vicious punch. No real circumstance. Ali is getting his head.
Already by round 5, Foreman looked exhausted, but instead of taking advantage of the situation, Ali continued his famous tactic called rope-a-dope. He stood at the ropes, and by leaning on them and dodging, he nullified Foreman's attacks. At the same time, Ali behaved passively, thereby letting his opponent attack, and even when Foreman was noticeably tired, Ali continued to provoke him to attack. Ali waited for Foreman to have no strength left, and only then switched over to a counterattack. Before the fight, Ali, in every possible way, would provoke Big George. Moreover, Ali managed to sway the local audience's favor against Foreman. until they were shouting for Ali to kill him during the match. Without thinking about protection, George fiercely attacked, but he did it recklessly and spent a lot of energy in vain. By the 7th round, the attacks of Big George became rare and languid. The punches were slow, and even Ali's jabs seemed powerful. And before the start of the 8th round, Joe Frazier said, "Based on what I see, George will definitely not reach the end." Round 8. Ali throws a few accurate punches, but then goes back to the ropes. Foreman tries to mount an attack, but no longer has the strength. He is in the grip of a man who proclaimed himself the greatest, and then proved it in the ring.